What is it do you like about Coke?
I love the smell of it.
It's raw. It's raw every goddamn year.
Yes,
Lord.
Serving raw, goddamn it.
Subscribe to Serving It Raw and let's keep it
all the way funky, uncut, raw. Serving it raw just like my boy Gutter Kane.
Yes, Lord. You done tapped in the Serving It Raw podcast where we let the conversation flow uninterrupted. And today, I am excited to introduce another hip-hop icon. This remarkable woman is a lyrical poet, celebrated for her electrifying performance on the classic club anthem Bia Bia by Lil Jon and East Side Boys, which made waves on the Billboard charts. With nearly 3 decades of experience in writing and recording, help me welcome to Serving the Raw, Chyna Whyte. How you doing, Miss?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing
That
good.
was a good intro. Wow.
Yeah, see, I gotta put everything in my intros when I interview these veterans.
I ain't dropped one album, but I'm considered a veteran. Thank you.
For sure, because there's something that I know that prevented you from continuing your music career, which we'll touch on that. But there's things that you did during your time dropping music that contributed to 50 years of hip hop. And so we're going to touch on those things for the new generation that don't know who Chyna Whyte is.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I want to start from the first thing I want to start is where you from.
Well, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, which people don't know that. They think I'm from Atlanta because, I kind of I did some things in New Orleans, but I started really my career in Atlanta, though. But I'm from New Orleans.
Already. Now, we're going to go back, way back, before the Lil Jon situation. Now, a lot of people don't know this. I'm a hip-hop head, so I know a lot of stuff already, and then I also do extra research. So, in 1996, okay, you collaborated with Cain and Abel on their album, 7 Sins, and you contributed to a track called Basement Sessions alongside Mia X and another female artist, Skandalust, and y'all earned the label of Lady Thugs. Now, were there any intentions to form a female group called Lady Thugs on No Limit at that time?
You know what? I heard that there was some talks about it, but I really don't know what happened with it. It just didn't happen. Okay. So, but yeah, I heard that Master P was talking about wanting to start that group, but I don't really know what happened. I don't know. But that was like my first feature, thanks to Donald XL Robertson. That was my first producer. And I wasn't even going by Chyna Whyte. I think my real name was on there.
Yes, Steph.
Right, exactly. Yep. Which I'm probably reverting to back to that, but yeah.
Okay, now I'm glad you brought up Donald Robertson because that's actually my next topic, because you initially started out with him. So how did your initial experiences with super producer Donald XL Robertson influence your perspective on the music industry at that point?
Man, me and Donald, we worked together. When we met, we started working. We worked together like maybe 5 years straight. Man, we did some creative, like we always was on some independent type, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And we did do it. We just, we will record in his backyard, in his garage. We will record in his closet. We would record in his room. He was always making the beats and I'll be asleep because, I just fall asleep like I like to sleep. It was so weird. We would try so many different things. Like one time he had a window in his room and like his old car was right parked by the window. So he ran the microphone because we was trying to get a booth. We have it soundproof. So he ran the microphone out of the window and I was in a hot car just rapping my heart out while he was inside doing whatever he was doing. But man, that was like my beginnings. Like we did everything. He would make beats. He would get cups and hit the sound. And we would go through all his daddy records. He had tons and tons of records and he was sampling. Man, that was my beginning. Like that that, I mean, 5 years straight, we was just hitting it every day. And the more I worked with him, I just developed over the years, you know.
Okay.
And then yeah, so it was a time where after we like put together the demo, really we actually put the see we I was always like independent. So when I don't know, I don't remember what they had back then. I think it was it may have been CD Baby or something. I don't know. But all I know is when we put a little EP together, we pressed the CDs, the cassette tapes. It was cassette tapes at the time. We pressed those things up and we went in the local record stores and got them in there.
Okay.
You know, like we
Like
was
pieces.
on it. We was before our time, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how difficult it was for artists as yourself to press up cassette tapes and and then later on CDs and actually go to radio stations and mom and pop CD stores and actually get your album in there as consignment.
Yep. We did it. Donald did it. We did it. But Donald went in there and did what he did, and we had it in. I forgot. I think it might have been Odyssey down in New Orleans. I think it was Odyssey. I don't know. I don't really remember. But yep, we did a lot of independent stuff. And then one day we even just decided he had a bunch of CDs, and we was like, look, let's send a demo let's just get the addresses off of all of them and mail the CDs to them. And that's what we did. And I got some callbacks from people. I don't even remember Swisher House, like different people, but that's how Lil Jon got my demo. That's how I met, Lil Jon through sending that demo out. But I was kind of like going on with my life. Like I had met somebody, I got married young, just clubbing, whatever, and then he was in the military, so I wound up moving with him to Georgia. And it's crazy. Like one day my mom called me and was like, hey, somebody named Lil Jon called you. And I'm like, oh, Lil Jon. Okay, let me call him back. I didn't know who he was, really. But I think he was an A&R at So Def. And I sent that CD to So Def.
Got it. Okay.
So he probably heard it and he kept it. And he hit me up and was like, listen, I got a group. I want you to come. I'm like, oh, I'm already in Georgia. I'm coming. And the rest was history. We met in the studio for the first time, and from that day on, we just recorded and went on doing what we did.
Oh, okay. Now, in what ways did you work with Lil Jon shape your career path, and what insights did you gain from the collaboration with him?
You know what, Lil Jon, I've always had some anger. Like, oh no, well I did it. Lil Jon, like this crunk thing, this rowdy crunk, that influenced my style because really before and when I was in New Orleans, like I rapped like it sounded like I was from New York because I was storytelling, I was telling stories and that type of rap. And I never was on the bounce because bounce was at the time New Orleans. So like I was on some story time, Nas, samples, Baba, Jay-Z. One of my favorite songs from him was Politics as Usual. So, I was on that. Bump, 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 yeah, like that. So when I went to Atlanta, I got into this whole crunk. I don't even know what it was, but it was just like, yeah, boom. And that just brought it out me because I was already rowdy and aggressive anyway, So he introduced me to that whole, because even my people back at home was like, you don't even rap the same. Like, what? I don't know what you're doing, but shoot, I was enjoying it.
Yeah, it was a difference. If they hear your verse on the Cain and Abel album in '96, and then you listen to was it 2000?
Yeah, it was about we recorded Bia Bia like in '99, I think.
99, okay.
Yeah.
Listen to that, your voice is the same, so it's easy for you to be like, okay, that's Mia X, oh, that's Chyna Whyte or Steph at the time. But when you hear your verse on Bia Bia, it was just something else. And I ain't gonna lie, like when you came in, I know you wasn't attacking no other females or nothing like that. But I know you had a competitive aspect about yourself because you started out with like when you said that part, I was just like, okay, she's she putting the feminine, like she's feminine, but she coming like these niggas on this
Oh
track.
yeah. I always had the yeah. I have like a masculine, thing. And I was always really aggressive and competitive, like especially when I was younger. Like if I get on the track with you, you don't know what I might do. I'm coming at you. That's bad, but anyway. But yeah, I was real aggressive. Like, and then I had it in my mind that these men always disrespecting women and and treating them a certain type of, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna get on the track. I'm gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna let you know, you ain't coming at me like that. But yeah, that's what I had in mind. But yeah, I was talking sporty.
Hey, well, I ain't gonna lie, you killed that as well as the contribution that you did to the King of Crunk, like that CD, molded you and surrounded you as well. Now I'm not the type of podcast that talks about any type of people's traumas and stuff like that. That's just not what my platform is built off of. So, considering your time in prison and the house arrest in '01, and then you had the pregnancy in '02, how did these experiences affect your debut album? Because I know that the later was the one that actually made you step away from music. So,
So you know what? As I look back, it's like I just had event after event after event. You could kind of like I was just finding myself back then. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know where I was going. I knew, like, if you listen to Bia Bia, you could hear that I had some elements of God and how I wanted to. I had this desire to live. I don't know, trying to find my calling. I had that. So uh the jail thing, like God was just gracious in all of it, really. Cause I was really young and kind of naive, and I didn't really have the protection I should have had. And then I was hard headed too and just out there. I could have had like my dad really letting him know what's going on. He probably could have guided me more. But when you're young, you don't want to hear nothing from here. You want to do your thing. You ain't telling them nothing. So, but God was gracious in the jail thing. Like I went to jail, but it didn't really affect. I was only in federal prison for 5 months, and when I got out, well, when I was in there, I really had an experience with God. God was just throughout these experiences, He was just like God in control of everything. Now that I look at it, I see it. He controls. So He was ordering my steps. Now we make choices and you have to, you know, deal with the consequences. But in that, He was gracious. The jail thing, after I got out of jail, I went back out on tour, with John and back in the industry. It was when I got pregnant, which was so weird. Like, because all the while God was protecting me because I was a little naive. I was hard headed. I was wild, but I still was naive, you know. So the pregnancy thing really affected me, but I really wanted a break. I was tired. I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with divorce. I was dealing with jail. I was dealing with just people not really for me. I was out there by myself, really. But the crazy thing is during when I got out of jail, my husband at the time was still in jail. So
okay.
I would go visit him. I would be out in Atlanta doing stuff. Then I would take time out to go visit him, drive he was in Arkansas, drive all the way there, and blah 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 blah. So it was like I went to visit him on a holiday, right? And it was really packed in there. And he was like saying, go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom. And I'm sitting there going, no, 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 no. No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going. So we slipped in the bathroom and we slipped out with nobody knowing in federal prison. And guess what? When I left there, I was pregnant, but I didn't know.
Oh shit. Okay. So
Yeah.
she was conceived in
In jail,
jail.
in federal prison.
Oh
Crazy.
shit. Okay.
So when and I can jump. So I didn't know I was pregnant, and you start getting all kind of stuff going on. I'm getting sick and all that. Anyway, crying and stuff. But to sum it all up, when I told them I was pregnant, it's like it was almost like a death sentence. It was like she done. And I felt like they cut me off. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I think back then they really didn't know how to deal with it. You know, it was probably like old school thinking. Oh, she pregnant, she gonna have a baby, she gonna be fat, which is all true. You know, we don't know. She it was just like she done, and it really was done with me. You know, so I left. I went home. I was pregnant. I was happy. I was eating. I was nurturing my baby. Had my baby. So it wasn't like now. Like you gonna get pregnant. These girls is gonna be flashing. They gonna be still rapping. They gonna be doing it. They, you know, they didn't know what to do. That's all I can say. Because when I was pregnant, I was like, listen, I could still be in a studio. You know, I think one of John videos, I think it was with Scrappy. I was pregnant in that video, but they kind of, I think they cut me out the video. You know, I was like, but I always had the mind of shit. I ain't know I was pregnant, but I was like, I could still rap. It's not gonna affect my mouth, my lyrics. But they just wasn't having it. So it's like they was done with me. So that was it. So I went home, was pregnant, was happy, was eating, had the baby. My husband was still in jail. Took like I didn't go back to Atlanta till she was like 2, I think 2, when he got out of jail, almost 3.
Okay.
So I was just home. Like I was just home doing the home thing, you know, doing the mom thing. And that really affected, that really I think affected my career, because I didn't really know why. I was like, what I mean, what's the problem? You know? But yeah, that affected me pretty much. But I still just kept at it, you know, kept at it. And then when she was 3 and then my ex-husband got out, Hurricane Katrina hit.
Okay. So we're
That's what
talking
sent me
05 now.
back to Atlanta.
Okay, so we're talking 05 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the years 99, like 2000. I went to jail. The 2000. Let me see. 2002. I got pregnant. I had it in 2003. I went back to Atlanta in 2006.
Oh, okay, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, what would have been the name of your debut album had you released it? Did you have a name for it at that time?
I had a few names for it. One, I was gonna name it Spirit Against My Flesh. Before I was even deep into God, I was gonna name it Spirit Against My Flesh because that's what I was dealing with. And then I went to Bad Blood because I forgot who I was talking about. I was talking to somebody. I was talking about somebody I don't really remember, but it was gonna be Bad Blood. It just was. I had a few names, but yeah, you know. So yeah, either
Now,
one of those.
I know you didn't have the impact of like a 50 Cent, but a lot of new artists, whether it's 50 Cent, you, Young Jeezy, Game, when they're kind of like, when the world kind of knows like, hey, that's gonna be the next new artist, and that's gonna be, I know you had that type of pressure. Okay, I do know that because after the Bia Bia, everybody was like, "Oh, who is that female? Who's that? That's Chyna Whyte. Okay, when is she coming out? Oh, that's Lil Jon's artist. Okay, and you were the next person. I don't think artists understand the pressure that an artist goes through when they're like when they just get that stardom, like it starts moving in kind of quickly, like quicker than you
Yeah.
expect it to be. Is that something that you dealt with as well? Like it was kind of coming a little faster than maybe.
No, I ain't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I didn't expect it because because I was just doing what I like to do. You know, I just was doing what I love to do, and it just happened to pop off. And really, I still I knew business aspects, more business than anything of the industry, but I didn't really know how the industry went all the way. And I didn't really have nobody really on my team, like really guiding me on what to do. You know, I was just here, there, I'm kicking it, I'm going here, we going here, we doing this, I'm working on this, I'm working on this, I'm working on your album, I'm working on this one now. And I was working on my stuff, but I really wasn't working on my stuff, you know. I didn't have nobody. I feel like I didn't have nobody to really like really push me. You know, it was always, it was just so much going on. You know, and John, I guess he blew up. I don't know if he knew he was gonna blow up like that or whatever. Cause I didn't even know he was a rapper. I kind of thought he was a DJ or producer. But then I guess he blew up, so he was focusing on him and just keeping that momentum, you know? And I was just right there with him, like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, do that. And I wasn't I don't know, I think I just got lost somewhere, you know?
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to kind of get your
That pressure, it wasn't pressure for me.
It was okay.
Like, it wasn't a big deal either. Like, I don't, you know, it wasn't a big deal. It just was like, I don't know what I was thinking, really. That was a while ago. It was like, okay, all right, okay. I was maybe a little amazed, you know, like, really?
Okay, so
You
you
like the
handled
verse
it as
that
it came
much?
to you.
Yeah, like it was like, oh, okay, right, wow. That, you know, I used to have people falling out and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Okay. But nah, I didn't have the pressure. I ain't had that pressure
You did, okay.
of no, you gotta do this album. Or I didn't have the pressure of even though Bia Bia was a single, like Lil Jon single, like I ain't have the pressure of I dropped the song and now, oh, I got this pressure, I gotta do another one. You know, I ain't even get to that point. I just write. Like, whatever, I just was writing. I was doing shows, going in the hood, you know, going to the studio, writing, getting paid, getting money, and you know, I was just having fun. That was what I do. I love to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you founded WhyteHowse Entertainment LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in 06?
Maybe '07, maybe '06, '07, somewhere around that. Yeah. It
And
was after I left. Maybe I don't even remember, but it was somewhere around that time.
okay, and you've rebranded it, right?
Yeah, I did. I didn't keep it. I don't know why.
Okay, because they were saying that you rebranded it to Abraham C's Music Force.
Yeah, I did, and then I redid it, so now it's just C Shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what prompted the change, and what business strategies did you use to succeed in that? Like, what did you decide to do with that?
I mean, WhyteHowse, it was just me. I wasn't signing people. It was my own label. And then the more and more I changed, and I felt like I needed to change, like what it represent, like WhyteHowse, okay, presidential, okay, yeah. I just moved more to God and the Word and Abraham seed. I don't know. I just moved more into that. That's what I wanted to do. So, I never really got it off the ground, you know.
Okay.
Like I didn't start it to like sign artists do anything like that. It just was my own label. But I never I'm still like pushing. You know what I'm saying? Still pushing it. Like, you know, opposition, like all kind of just battles.
Okay.
But it seems like that's what happens when you trying to do something positive. You know?
Yeah, you're always gonna run into those brick walls and shit, and then people.
Yeah.
So after WhyteHowse, you went from a traditional music to changing it to a publishing, which would be the Seed Shop.
Yeah.
But wasn't it Ching Chong Publishing?
Ching Chong, that was my old publishing company.
Okay.
That was my first publishing company. I just changed the name. Cause you know what? I have to say this, Ching Chong, I really named that because I used to like guys with little bitty eyes. I was attracted to that, right? So I called it Ching Chong. But some people like found it offensive.
Okay.
Like, and I'm like, well, and I mean, I didn't change it because of that. I just changed everything and went with Seed Shop. I just shortened it from Abraham Seed because we're the seed of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about Israel and all of that. But that's was that. So I just changed it to Seed Shop. That's all.
Okay. So everything now is Seed Shop.
Yeah, everything is Seed Shop.
Okay.
Just dropping positive seeds. You know, when you plant seeds into the minds, it grows. You know, that's my whole thing. Planting seeds.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the mustard seed was
not the weed, not the marijuana.
No, I'm thinking the biblical where they say all you got to do is have the faith
Yeah.
the size of a mustard seed. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was stemming from Abraham's seed, us being descendants of Abraham.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what inspired you to create your own publishing company?
Oh, that's one of the things. I was you better have your own publishing company. Like it's the business. It's the business side of music. Like I don't feel like just because you give somebody money or a budget that you should own all of their stuff. Like I don't know. I was just back then. I may be naive to a lot of stuff, but I knew a little something about publishing. You know, in writing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to sit here and write all this stuff and then you just take the credit like you own it. Like, no. But back in the day, that's how it was. Like, we don't, it's so different now. You do better by just going and get a loan from the bank and just pay them their money back and own all your stuff. Instead of letting these record labels, we'll hit you out with $1 million, we're gonna give you a chain, you gonna pay for everything. You're gonna pay for the paper clips they use, the tape, the ink. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, so I would suggest you do get your own publishing, even though some artists they not publishing, you know. But I don't know. Me and Donald XL, we came up like that. Like when we did a song, like everything was split. Like you know, everybody getting their writers, everybody getting their publishing, because we all doing that's what we doing, and we doing it together.
Now, do you get all your publishing for everything you did when you was at BME?
Yep. The smartest thing I did. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think I was very adamant about that. Yeah. I don't and it happened. Like, you know, some people don't get it. Like they don't get none of that. But yeah, I got mine. Yep. And to this day I'm still getting checks from 20 years ago from that song. That song. Yep.
Congratulations, goddamn.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, David.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Man, okay. All right. Well, I'm to my $1 million question here. Which is Chyna Whyte's top 5 favorite rappers, dead or alive?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, see, I get it.
Top 5. I don't. You know what? Real talk. I don't even listen to rap
You don't?
because no, because I'm so I'm so like I need something to bring me down. So if I'm listening to something, I'm listening to talk radio, or I'm listening to classical, or I'll listen to country. I'll listen to something that soothe me. You know, I like talk radio, but
Okay, well,
I do.
I do this. Give me your top 5 favorite artists. Because that can be any genre of music at that point.
I do like Kendrick Lamar
Okay.
because he really he spit. Yeah, yeah,
No,
he spit.
no denying that.
Man, you caught me off. I'm trying to because I like
It could be anything. It could be jazz. It could be a pop artist, R&B. Just your top 5 ones that when Chyna Whyte get in that car and she's riding around. What's your favorite artist? It could be old, new.
oh man.
What you got?
I like Tasha Cobbs. Like I listen to her.
That's 2.
I don't know, but Salt and Pepper. That's like
Okay.
that's man, them girls cold. Like me, I listen to them like to come up. It's hard to get your personality across that mic. You know, to me, I gotta put a lot into it. So to hit them in the way it's so easy and how you can hit a personality, how smooth they are. Salt and Pepper, number one. Salt and Pepper,
That's
Kendrick
3.
Lamar.
You got 2 more.
I don't want to lie. Like I really don't listen to I don't listen. Tupac.
Okay, there you go. All right. You got
Tupac.
one more.
Tupac. Woo! I always wanted to work with Tupac. Oh my goodness, I wanted to work with Tupac. I was like, if Tupac was alive, bro, oh my goodness, we'll be a group.
You ever got a chance? You ever get a chance to meet Soulja Slim?
No, I don't think I may have, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. Who else? How many I have?
You got 4. You got one more.
Man. Nas.
There we go. That's 5. See?
Nas.
that wasn't hard at all. Look at that.
Yeah. I have to think about it because I really don't listen to rap. I don't. Like I like Jeezy. You know, I like trap music, you know, but I don't listen to it anymore. Cause you know, I even like Future. Well, I like his beats. My cousin was sending me some stuff. She used to send me stuff, but I typically I don't listen to rap just because I like to keep my mind just at ease. Like I'm listening to worship music. Like I love worship music and uh praise. You know, I listen to that. I just need something to keep my mind just, you know. Now when I won't get hyped up, you know, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that don't.
No,
Don't.
it's a lot of people that I know, like they choose to not listen to rap, and I know a lot of rap artists that don't just because they do music themselves. They want to step away from that and decompress
Yeah.
and listen to a different type of things to meditate and get their mind off of that type of.
Yeah, that's me. Like you do it so much you don't want like I ain't like I just want to have some jazz or something, you know? Some
Yeah.
jazz playing or just something like that. I try to get away from it and get my mind like yeah, chill out.
Already. Now, before we take a break, I do have one more question for you. Is what themes did you aim to address in your books? Now, you did write 2 books, which was Music's Poisonous Venom and Celibate But Still Masturbating. So, what were you trying to address in those books to people?
So music's Poisonous Venom. I was coming from the aspect of your words and being mindful of what you say. You know, I had put a lot of my music, my lyrics in it, and I talked about the tongue, you know, just watching how powerful or what you say, what comes out of your mouth. You know, that was my aim. It wasn't I think a lot of people thought it would be like a gossipy book. Me, I don't know. Like even my dad, he read it and he was like, "Are you a preacher?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like I'm trying to if I wasn't writing it to the artist. It almost sounded like I was writing to the artist, just letting them know, look, you gotta be mindful what you say. You know, music is powerful. You know, it fluence. You know your words, but it's for everybody. So that one was my aim with that one.
Okay.
The other one, yeah, that one is a little but bit much. You know, I want to go back and read them because you know when you evolve and you grow. But that one was basically, and people could get mad all you want, but I could speak on this because from my childhood, I grew up in like some perversion. You know what I'm saying? Perverted things happen. A lot of things was put on me. You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with not promiscuous, but I dealt with lust, like masturbation. And if anybody who says normal is not, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was in it. I couldn't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just used to pray all the time, God, take this away, take this away, take this away. It's not pure. You know what I'm saying? You by yourself, you it's just not, it's not right. People have their own opinion, you can do what you want, but I know I dealt with it and I know it came to a point where God really broke it. Well, I don't do it no more. I don't desire it. I don't want to do it. Gone. That's how you know it was a stronghold. So basically, that book, I was celibate. Like I was celibate about 5, 6 years. You know, no sex or nothing, but I was still masturbating just to be. You know, I hate to talk about it because I don't want people looking at me. Ooh, she used to be masturbating. Like, you know, I don't like it. But so yeah, and I'm like. I don't think, yeah, you know, people might think, and in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm not, because I had this big thing about fornicating. I don't know. It just was something, just dealing in my childhood, it just grossed me out. You know, your flesh wanted, but is just perverted. It wasn't pure. It wasn't true intimacy and love. It was just on some perversion. Like, it was just a whole. It's so many layers to it. So I was yet celibate and saying I'm celibate, God. I'm not fornicating. I'm trying to be pure unto you, but I was masturbating.
Okay,
And I ain't have to look at no porn. I ain't look at porn and all that. I ain't do that. I just did what I did and I'm done. And I was like, I don't think that's right.
okay.
I just, so that book was about that.
Okay, no, the reason why I touched on them too, and the reason why I know the music's Poisonous Venom, because I've read that book. I know that one mainly came from you stating like, hey, things that you say, be mindful of the things that you say, the power's in the tongue. It's just like, somebody talking about dying all the time and stuff, and then they are passing away and stuff like that because you just
Right.
putting it out there in the universe. Now, but with the Celibate But Still Masturbating, the reason why I'm glad that you're touching on, as much as you say you don't want to talk about it, is somebody out there is having that type of issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And go ahead.
And I'm saying, just to hear from somebody of your caliber, they can feel like, oh, okay, she like, oh, Chyna Whyte dealt with that, like, okay, and then
Yeah.
I
don't want people to think that I was promiscuous because I wasn't. I always had God, for one thing, I didn't grow up in church and I ain't really know God. My mama loved God, but she was quiet about it. It was a lot of stuff going on in the house, abuse, just a lot of perversion and all kind of stuff. So I just had this grossness about that. I did it because my flesh, but yet it was gross. It wasn't pure. And my mind was training that this is gross. This is nasty or whatever. Anyway.
You wanna know about me? Okay, I'm me. That's why people can't deal with me. It's easy like that. One thing I know, it's what I know. The real can't deal with the fake. That's why, homie, you can't rock with a woman like me. Cause some as real as can be. I call a chicken a chicken. I call an eagle an eagle. I do not tolerate bull. I smoke with people. The real can't deal with the fake. That's why, homie, you can't rock with a woman like me. Cause some as real as can be. I call a chicken, call an eagle an eagle. I do not tolerate bull. That's why I'm with people. See, they got a bunch of haters and they got a bunch of fakers claiming to be real, but don't know what real is till they deal with the real. And when the real come out, they can't deal with the real. So then they show their fakeness. I thank God I'm not a fake chick, cause I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. See, I compete from the heart, that's why they send me away. See, the dog can't deal with the light, but the light gon' deal with the dog. And everything in the dog gon' come out when the light shine. I'm about mine, that's why I make them pull what they bout. I ain't moved by the clout, clothes and jewels. Let me see what it do. They wanna cut you off when you tell them the truth. If you ain't what you want me to do, I ain't gon' even answer that, cause I ain't gon' lie to you. I'ma say what it is. You an ignorant idiot, yo. I'ma say what you is, cause I'm a grown woman and I'm about that real raw, uncut. That's why I'm Chyna Whyte, homie. Good luck. The real can't deal with the fake. That's why, homie, you can't rock with a woman like me, cause some as real as can be. I call a chicken a chicken. I call an eagle an eagle. I do not tolerate bull. That's why I'm with people. The real can't deal with the fake. That's why, homie, you can't rock with a woman like me, cause some as real as can be. I call a chicken, call an eagle an eagle. I do not tolerate bull. That's why I'm with people. That's why my circle not even a circle, more like a half a moon. I ain't got time to entertain you, homie. I'm on the move, on another level, striving for that other level. I have many demons to fight, so I don't need another devil, and I don't need another echo, and I don't need another shadow. I need a man to stand up and take on his mantle, cause I'm a lot of woman for a man to handle. A pearl of great price, and you can't pay a price on something that ain't right. What I have is worth more than ice, or your Oreo whip on 24s. I am a door to the Father, Son, and Spirit. I am his mouth, can you hear it? I don't speak to you, I speak to what's in you, so don't get offended when I give you the business, cause I'm about handling business. It's time you get off breast milk and move on to some biscuits. I know some of you don't understand my lingo. If you don't, it's time you move from the back of the bus, cause you lag and catch up. The real
Okay, we are back. Now, you left off, we were talking about the two books that you've written and where your mind frame was with those books and the themes that you were aiming to address in those two books. And so now I want to touch bases more of where you are now. So how has your faith and the guidance of the Holy Spirit influenced your career choices and your musical direction right now?
Oh, I'm all the way. Like I'm all the way. Whatever God want me to say, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I never I got in the industry. I just like to do music, you know. I don't think I'm too good on the entertainment side or that type. I'm not even into that. Like I like to write, and I like to write about God. That's what I like to do. The word says whatever's in somebody's heart, that what comes out, you know. So the more I started seeking God and just learning about him and just wanting to change, I begin to change. I mean, when you change, you can't talk about the same stuff. It's not in you. It's not in you no more. You know, so when I begin to change, my heart begin to change. Now, I ain't perfect. I'm still God, but just recently was showing me my ugly self, and I was like, oh man, I repent. Like I repent in the name of Jesus. God, I'm sorry. Like I was, but every day at my prayer, I'm like, you know what, God? My mouth is your mouth. You know, I want to see how you see. I really want to be able to flow and help people. You know, I want creating me a clean heart. So every day I'm praying, creating me a clean heart, renew a right spirit. God, give me the mind of Christ. So you keep praying that and you really seeking him, he gonna start getting that junk out you. And I know I still got stuff in me. Off top, I know, you know, but my intentions are pure, you know, and I really want to change. So like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure even the more I change, the more and more my music is gonna change. Cause right now I'm on some Psalm 35, battle the devil gotta go. Demons, these witches, these warlocks, I'm still aggressive with that, trying to slay demons. And I'm like, okay, God, you know, at some point, and I'll write a love song to him. It's either I'm a love song to him or I'm slaying a witch or a demon.
Okay.
You know, but you know, yeah. So right now it's like it's 10 toes down now. Cause you know I've had my look, God will bring you through so much stuff, molding you. Like this is world. And like we gotta really look at it like why, you know, find out why you really came here. Cause we tend to get here and we think, oh, it's all about what I want to do and this and I'm doing this and I'm like, what is your mission for real? Like it's a higher whole realm, something else going on around here. What we here to do? So I didn't have my thing with God and falling off and connecting with people that I shouldn't connect with. You know, I'm not perfect. Falling down, you fall down, get back up. You know, but now, I mean, you got to mature at some point. You know, and you, especially when you trying to preach and you trying to lead people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like as clean as you could get. You know. So right now, I'm just like I'm 10 toes down. Like I went through an experience where I fell off and like I almost got to the point where I couldn't even say Jesus is king. Like I was falling off. Like I don't know what hit me. And but I see that spirit in people. It's the same spirit.
Yeah.
Like it's the same spirit. The Antichrist spirit is the same spirit denying Jesus Christ, and these people act the same way. So anyway, I don't need to be going through hell like my consequences on my choices. I'm like, look, I stand on this word. When I walked away from the industry, like they didn't take it from me. Like I walked away from it. I was like, I'm done. Like I don't care. I'll go get a job. I'll live a regular life. Like I'm done with it. I'm not going back to the club. I'm not like I might go in the club now. You know, I'm mature, you know? Like I know I'm on another level now. Which really the club ain't nothing there for me. You know what I'm saying? Unless the spirit tell me go minister to the specific person, they gonna be there.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't doing that. But so yeah, like I'm 10 toes down with it. And I'm like, Holy Spirit, whatever you want me to do. Like when I approach a song now, I'm like, God, what you want me to say? And man, the Holy Spirit, the best rapper alive to me. Like, yo, I'm like, wait, I just did like 6 features on people, and hopefully they put the songs out. If not, I'm gonna take all my verses and I'm gonna put it on my album.
Already.
Cause I put my time and my heart in it, and I'm like, God, whatever you want to say, that's what I'm gonna say. Cause it's really not I ain't in it. Sometimes it's not even metaphoric. It's not deep. I'll be like, oh, but it's whatever he want to do. It's his world.
Okay. Are you getting into preaching?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see where I can put a sermon together. But you know what? I don't know what God want where I'm going. I know music is my ministry. I know that.
Okay.
And I minister through music. And I like to pray. So I'm kind of getting into intercession, um but I don't know. Like, I don't know how to put a sermon together. Like, I don't compare it to the people that I need to stop that too. That's me seeing how people do it, and you watch them and you kind of like, man, that's how it's supposed to be done. But I don't know. Maybe I think I preach in my music.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think I preach in my music.
One thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to downplay as talented as you are. Like, even when I did my intro, I know you feel like even though you didn't put out an album, you're not a hip hop legend. And I'm like, when we talk about let's just talk about Southern. When we talk about Southern female rap artists, and we talk about Mia X, and you talk about Gangsta Boo, and you talk about LeChat, and you talk about Trina. Chyna Whyte is in that category as well. And I think that you need to know that there's a lot of people still checking for you. Okay. Like
That's awesome.
I just like
I mean, you know what? I find it I do find it amazing that people look at me like that from a verse. Like, most of those people, they drop albums. I dropped a verse.
you did more than
And it's
first
like
though.
it was like, wow. But I know it's for the glory of God. I know it ain't cause me and I'm the best. They got some cold rappers out here, good females. I don't know their names, but I've come across them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I know that I've been given this platform for a reason. And like, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a use it for what God, it's all God. Like, I know, but it's like, yeah, okay. All right. All right. Sometimes I feel like the underdog, and I don't get, like, my flesh. When I get in my flesh, I'm like, yeah, I don't, like, I do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I write, and man, them lyric, like, yo, I'm like, man, they don't respect me, bro. They don't respect me, Lord. Like, what's up? But God know what He doing. Cause I definitely don't want to get cocky and prideful and get off track. You know what I'm saying? I gotta always remember, like, this. He gave me this gift, and I represent Him. It's to save. It's to help people. Not to hurt them. And yeah. I mean, music is very influential. It's powerful. Like, it touches the soul. And you gotta be in a good space to do it. Because I find myself even writing stuff like, what if I was feeling lustful, or I was feeling angry, or you'll write that, and then you come across with that, and then you put that out there in the atmosphere. See what I'm saying? Now, that's why you can look at R. Kelly, and you can see R. Kelly could made some fire. That's weird, because he got the gift to do it.
Yeah.
Like, he'll make some fire, uh, positive stuff, but that lust on him, or you gonna feel it through the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I don't want that. I want, like I want to give a good vibe now, like Frankie Beverly, like revert, like amazing ball, good vibes,
Already.
good vibes.
Well, I want to definitely see, where you continue to go with your music. From Serving the Raw and Gutter Kane, I definitely want to give you your flowers for your contribution, not just on I know for you, you like, hey, I put out that Bia Bia verse like that. And I'm like, you know, you contributed more than just that verse. Like, yes, that verse is what put a lot of people on the radar for you. But your contribution to that album and the contribution to Kings of Crunk, the contribution that you did with Too Short, like all those things are a part of hip hop that matters to us. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
the person that's pivotal for that. So I want to, say thank you for all that, and then as well as the stuff that the mixtapes,
Oh yeah.
the real deal Holyfield. you know,
No, not people. It's so crazy. Some people be like, "You still rap?" I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I do. But yeah, I get it.
yeah, and I just, I'm just excited to see where you go. This is a safe space for you, so we tapped in, so we can always, do this again. I enjoyed, interviewing you. It was
Thank you, thank
a
you.
great honor.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know a lot about me.
Yes, I do. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of your music. I watch how your career, you know, was actually, like really soaring, like it was going off, and then, and it is nothing bad, but it gives other people insights and to know like what y'all dealt with as artists, especially the female part. The fact that, hey, I can, even though you were pregnant, I mean, I even seen you perform uh why you not in person, but I've seen a video of you performing while you were pregnant.
Right. So that's crazy. So that was my back then was my first time. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 6-year-old.
Okay, which one is it? You kind of had on like a green dress.
That was my last child. That was
Okay.
5 years. That was 6 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So see, I still was able. See, man, God is so good. Cause see, that's what I wanted to do back then, and it was like, nah, now. But so I got to do it with her, and I still did. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be a part of that. The Cardi B, all these girls that was pregnant and just like still doing it, still doing the thing. So I feel like I got to be a part of that. But back then I was 45. I just had a late child. Yeah, basically. So yeah. That was my whole point with them. Like, yeah, it still could be done. So I got to show them that it still could be done.
Yeah. And like I said, like it was fine. Like you never missed a step. You know what I'm saying, on the video at all. I just think it was all about image,
Yeah.
and it's just, it's sad, but I think that like I said, a lot of things that you went through, or Amir X, or anybody, Lil Kim or whoever, those things have paved the way for the female rappers that we have today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's a lot of, it's a plethora of y'all, but when you talk about the southern ones, you got Jackie O, and it's this shit, it's a plethora, but it's just like I said, y'all paved the way for where it's at now, because now you have a lot more female rappers today than you've ever had, period, in the whole 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah, and it's different. It's different now. You know what I'm saying? You could just drop something and go viral. You can do it. You can do it all. It's so different now. And now you got AI. Oh my goodness. Back in the day, it was really different. AI, I'm like, somebody just put me on, I think like Suno or something. My
Yeah.
cousin sent me a song and I'm like, oh, okay, who is that female? I like her. She got a rough voice. She was like, oh, I made that with AI. I'm like, what? I'm like, y'all cheating. Oh my God, y'all cheating. Do you know how long it take me to write a song sometimes? What? I be up all night, hours, recording and writing, and now y'all just put in and type it in and boom, you got a whole song. I'm like, y'all cheating, but okay. It's easier now. Oh, y'all cheating. I'm mad. Y'all cheating. You know how long it take me? Man, I put in work. But so it was different back then though. I guess you felt like you needed a record label, you needed their money. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, and then it was all about image. But back then I was so against that sex image. You know what I'm saying? Even though I took the picture, squatted down with the heels, and when I did that, their mind was like, oh, it was like,
Oh,
what are you doing?
you talking about when you was on
What?
house arrest and you had the ankle bracelet?
Yeah, and I had the shorts and another one. Yeah, their mind was blown. It was like, what? I thought you was against that. What are you doing? Because I know deep down they wanted me. I mean, I'm a female. They wanted me to do that, but I was so against it. I put on the Dickies, was like, nah, I ain't doing it. And then I wasn't comfortable. I can't rap in no high heels, you know? So, but yeah, I was against the whole sex thing because it was like every song they put a female on, it's got to be about sex.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, and I'm not doing it. Even John knew that. Like, I think E40 had a song, and it had something about banging that coochie, but it was the other word. Something, put the brakes on it, something, and he was like, nah, she ain't gonna do it. Now I did do one song, John's song that nothing on that everybody loved.
Yeah.
But I was feeling it that day. That's all.
Yeah,
And then if you listen to it, I was gangster on that one.
Yeah, the song that Ubi's on that one, right? She does.
Yeah. I did do that, but I wasn't doing no more. Like, yeah.
But no, look, that cover though, look, when you did that whiteout cover, it was like sexy. Cause I mean, for me, this is my perspective of it. It was sexy because I had never seen you like that, right?
Right.
I still was like, she thugged in a motherfucker. She got an ankle bracelet on.
That was right. That was like, you know what? Before they take this bracelet off, let me go take a picture with it. And then I guess I don't know what mood I was in. I was like, we're gonna do this. And it was like, what? Are you doing that for real? I was like, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. But I always felt hidden in the game. I don't know. It's like people really didn't even know what I looked like. And I almost felt hidden. Like I was there, but I wasn't. You know, I was seen, but I wasn't seen. It was strange to me. But I was like, at the end of the day, I'm like, look, God, I ain't quitting. And I'm gonna do it for you. And I'm gonna do it like I was trying to convince them once again, let me do gospel. Let me do it, but let me do it how I do it. Like it's not gonna be boring. You know, it's gonna still be the essence of me, but it's just gonna be different lyrics, you know, but
I think when because I saw another interview that you did. It wasn't I don't think it was a visual. It wasn't a video one. It was one that I read. It was one that you did, and they asked you were you a Christian rapper, and you were like, no, I'm not a Christian rapper. And I think that's what a lot of people try to stray away from when people talk about bringing God into their lyrics. They automatically just think like, okay, this person's fixing to become a Christian rapper and they fixing to start preaching. And I'm like, I don't think that's what Chyna was even trying to do. I think she was trying to just let God guide what she's doing and evolving from where she is. Because I mean, if she's a mother now, she has a different mind frame.
right.
You know, it would just be like it would be like if you wanted 50 to rap about stuff that he did in 2003, you can't get a 50 of 2025 to rap about that, or any time period. But you know, he's evolved, since then. So the situations are going to change, and I just felt that was the situation with you.
I mean, I was trying to find my way because I mean, if you really literally look in the Bible, I don't even know about the whole Christian thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we follow Christ. It's so many layers to it. And I think I meant that. I was just up and down with it, but really, I minister. I minister the gospel in my music. That's what's in my heart. So I mean, if you say I'm a gospel rapper, I'm a gospel rapper for real. Now I have an EP called Endurance, and it's songs that just talk about life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't necessarily pushing Jesus down your throat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's still the gospel, really. It's this life. But I was up and down. I was trying to find my way. I was like, I ain't really know. I still don't know. I'm still not connected in church. You know what I'm saying? In the gospel industry, which really I've heard is almost the same as the secular industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I don't want to be part of none of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not connected with that. And then I'm connected with the street stuff, the secular, like they call it, but I'm not really doing what they do. But I'm just evolving because they got a rapper called named I think Duffy. And he got like this line dance song, right?
Mhm.
And I forgot what it said. You saw me going to the left, to the right. You know, it's a dance song. So he asked me to get on it. And I was like, I'm gonna try to get creative. You know, I'm gonna see. If you let me say what I want to say, I'll do it. And he was like, go ahead. And when I tell you I laid that verse, I mean, he was amazed. So I think now is the time that God gonna let me do, you know, what I was supposed to do. Because I'm like, it's a line. They talking about club. I was like, oh, let me see. Like, just give me an example. Let me what I was saying. Like I ain't shaking no booty, but I'm putting both hands high. You know, thanking God for another chance because He could have let me die. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they let like people. I did a couple of songs with DJ Nabs. If you know DJ Nabs, right? You know DJ Nabs?
Heard.
You heard of him? Yeah. So he sent 2 songs for me. One is called That 808 is out now, and another song called Babylon. So I was like, they're trusting to let me do what I do, and they don't have a problem with it. And it's not corny, it's not boring or whatever you want to. Man, it's riding. You know what I'm saying? It's slapping. So I'm just excited. I'm like, God, wherever God taking me, He take me. Like, I wanted to do that with John. I don't think he just didn't understand it. He may understand now because he's moving into his thing, which I ain't gonna, you know, we don't need the rocks and we don't need all that other stuff. Like, if God tell you use it, cool, but I wouldn't push that. But maybe he'll understand now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he will want to work again. You know?
Yeah.
Or maybe he don't want to mess with the music. I don't know.
Well, hey, I hope that's something that you revisit.
I mean, I've been hitting them. Like, I'm cool with it. I'm like, listen, just let me do. I'll let you do what you do when we could collab, and you know, and it's gonna be hot. It ain't gonna be no club, you know. It may sound club, but it's gonna be of substance. Cause I can't, you know, I got, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna I'm like, let's go. I'm ready.
Well,
I'm ready. I'm like, listen, I'm waiting for you to catch up. That's all. I'm just waiting for you to catch up. That's it.
Well, how can people reach out to you? You know, obviously through social media and stuff like that, if they wanted to, you know, collab with you for any of that type of stuff.
Oh, just everything is Chyna Whyte / Chyna Whyte with a Y. Instagram /Chyna Whyte, Facebook Chyna Whyte. All of them is Chyna Whyte. So they can hit me up. They can DM me. I read it. You know, sometimes it's hard because I get so much, it get lost. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
they can
I
reach
have
me
the
there.
stuff down in the description as well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank my viewers and listeners for checking out another episode of CIRV'N IT RAW. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you subscribe to our podcast on all streaming platforms and leave us a review. I definitely want to thank Miss Chyna Whyte here for sitting down with us and, you know, telling us and getting us educated on her journey. Like I said, I appreciate your contributions to hip hop, everything that you've done in the past, as well as everything I know you're going to be doing in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And we will definitely stay in touch, and we'll be back next week with another great episode. And in the meantime, I want everybody to have a great week.
Yes. Have a blessed one.
Just make sure to coke fire.